Here in the audience of the Civic Center, or maybe you're listening on Facebook Live because we have that streaming this morning. So we're glad you're here. If you are new, and we do have a lot of people who are potentially at least new in the audience who might not have ever been to First Friday, it is a monthly event where we get together early in the morning and we talk about current and accurate and relevant information going on in the community. The city lets us use the Civic Center. They have hired Larry McHugh for the video production of First Friday. He's able to live stream it for us. And again, we just appreciate this opportunity to be able to get lots of really good information out to everyone. So we're going to get started because we're not sitting here with nothing in front of us, but we do have something in front of us, which is Annie Mae's warm coffee this morning, hot coffee. Lots of muffins were served and fruit, and that is because our business sponsor paid for that. They take care of our morning breakfast, and with that, they also get a little commercial. So this morning, our business sponsor is Wilson Medical Center in partnership with Independence Family Medicine, and we have their marketing director and foundation director, Janice Reese. So would you please welcome her to the front of the room?
Down. Good morning. Thank you, Lisa. And I want to thank the Chamber as well as the city for allowing us to be a sponsor for First Friday. It is truly a pleasure, and we are happy to be a sponsor today. I want to thank Annie Mae's for doing the coffee and muffins and fruit. We really appreciate that. Today I want to also thank our essential workers that are out there working, and our teachers and everybody that is fighting those COVID and frontline stuff. So I want to thank you, and happy fall, everybody. Who knows what today is? Well, I know it's hard to do this with a mask on, but it is World Smile Day. So take time to smile behind that mask to somebody and show them your smiley eyes. So I know that our eyes light up when we smile. So I want you to be able to give a smiley eyes to people today. So be sure you do that, because it means a lot to us when we take time to do that. There's another thing National Manufacturing Day that is today. So there may be some manufacturers in the room today that we want to thank, and I know that there's several in Independence and just Montgomery County, and so we want to thank you guys and all of you that contribute to America and what you do. Now also, October has a lot of health observations as well, and there's about 30 in the month of October, but there's 2 that I want to recognize today. So 2 is our magic number, kind of, for the day. Wonder why 2 would be a magic number. October 2nd, maybe? So one of them is National Physical Therapy Day and month, and it's, so I want to give a shout out to our Wilson Medical Center Rehab Center's 3 physical therapists and our 5 certified physical therapy assistants that do a great job of taking care of our inpatient, outpatient, and home health patients that need a therapy and rehab back to health. So we want to thank them for that. The other one is, which you probably all can guess, is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I want to encourage you all to get your mammogram done or schedule it this month. So anyway, I hope that you have. So I wanted to point that out. Also wanted to just point those health tips out and observations before I got into a little bit about what we have been dealing with and about COVID. And I wanted to share a little bit about what we've done since COVID has kind of came into play since March. And Wilson Medical Center and Independence Family have tried to make sure that we can continue care for you all. And so we started doing curbside care, and we do curbside lab. We've done testing for that. And then also our telemedicine. So that's another a way of us being able to offer safe alternative care. Well, safety is our heart of what we do, and so any way to care for you. And we also offer the COVID-19 testing, and that's available actually at our Rural Health Clinics, Independence Family Medicine in Cherryville. And Neodeshays is on the campus of Wilson Medical Center, so Wilson Medical Center is able to provide curbside COVID testing there as well. The clinics, Independence and Cherryville, they offer that Monday through Friday. And then, so you might want to give them a call and just say, you know, I'm wanting to get tested. They do that curbside. And then for your convenience, our lab has extended their hours and changed their hours, actually. So they're 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And on Saturdays, they're 8 to noon. And Saturdays is curbside only. But the COVID-19 testing, you can get same-day results. So I want to let you know that as well. And that's been really great for a lot of people that are needing to get back to work or, you know, just need to know. So anyway, I also wanted to share a little bit about statistics on our testing that we've done. So in August, Wilson Medical Center did about 272 COVID tests for Montgomery County residents. And in September, we did 274. Our total, though, antigen COVID testing that we completed for the month of August, that's just in total, we've done over 530, and we've done in September 544 tests. So a lot of tests have been done, and just wanted to share that kind of information with you. We've also done a little bit of restructuring of our rural health clinics, and that's so that we can better serve Montgomery County as well as Southeast Kansas. And so wanted to share with you that we have put in a new electronic medical record, and that helps so that all our providers can, no matter where if you need to be seen and you can't get seen with your provider that day, you could see another one and they can pull up your record no matter where you're at. So in the Independence family or Cherryville family or Neodeshays. So those are available as well. And I want to just give a little shout out to our providers today. They're actually taking care of patients, so they weren't able to make it. But at Independence Family Medicine, we have Jonathan Rodriguez and Marty Long, and they do a great job of serving Independence. In Cherryville, we have Haley Schulteis and Dr. Joe Meyer, and he also is in Neodeshay as well. And then Dr. Bert Chronister, Dr. Tanya Hill, and our nurse practitioners, Tony Barnhart and Sarah Baker, are all in Neodeshay as well. So those are some of our, I want to tell you, providers. But as we restructured, we also then have a manager now over all of our clinics instead of individual managers, kind of have a coordinator in each clinic. But our manager that is over all our rural health clinics is Francie Curry. And then we also then did our billing. So today we have two of our billers here for the rural health clinics. And I want to introduce Jody Wright. She is our rural health clinic billing manager. So if you want to wave your hand, Jody, and say hello. And then Becky Hall is our other biller that's one of our rural health clinics. So welcome today. Thank you for coming. And then our last I want to introduce is a new face to our organization as well, and that is Adam Gull. And he is our Wilson Medical Regional and Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine Center's new program director. And I just want to share a little bit about, he shared some information with me that our heal rate is 90%, which is above national averages. And then also we can heal a wound in about 23 days. That's kind of the median of it. So I think they do a great job and have saved limbs. And so we serve about a 90-mile radius. And he gave me some statistics on that. Outside of Wilson County, we've served about 164 patients last year. And 94 patients came from over a 30-mile radius. And 9 patients came from Oklahoma. So we're treating people, bringing them up this way too. And in 2019, we celebrated 20 years. So we actually hit our 21-year mark in July of this year. So we do know what we're doing, have experts that have our provider, Dr. Cronister and Dr. Barrett. They've been doing this since we opened, so they know, they've been learning and know what's going on with our wound care for over 21 years. But I tell you, it is really an honor for us to provide health care to Independence and Montgomery County, Southeast Kansas, and in honor of, what's today? What did I tell you? Who said smile? Well, I want to make somebody smile, so I have something for you, Gail. So happy National Smile Day or World Smile Day. Has anybody, first one who raises their hand, that they have scheduled their mammogram for October? Anybody?
Kirsten back there in the back.
All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that as well. That's great. We do have a mammogram, a digital mammogram, and so that is one thing that is available to you, and it's a nice, soft, warm, cushion little pad that we have on it that's kind of neat, and I love to share that with people. So one other thing, I was wondering who remembers who my Independence providers are? Who knows one? Yes? Awesome. Jonathan's your buddy? I'm glad to hear that. So does anybody else? Marty Long. All right. So you guys remembered good, and I'm glad to hear that you guys are using our providers, so that's great. And so anyway, I want to thank everybody for letting us be the sponsor today. We love First Fridays. It's great. And one last thing before I go. Happy birthday, Lisa.
Thank
Her
you.
birthday's October 22nd.
Thank
so
you.
Thought I'd bring one more smile to everybody.
29 again. Thank you, Janice. Thank you, thank you. And hey, you got to make sure you grab your hand sanitizer before you leave today. Got lots of goodies on the table from Wilson Medical Center. So thank you very much. Let's hit it hard and fast about what's happening in the community. I know you all have a calendar in front of you. It's on the back side of the Penny for Progress flyer, so you make sure you leave with both today. And I'm going to go through some things real quick. And because we have a listening audience that doesn't have the calendar in front of them. So I want to remind you that there's a Niwala exhibit at the museum going on. Little House on the Prairie is open through the end of the month, Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week from 10 to 5. Check it out. The Fall Farmers Market is going on through the end of the month every Thursday from 3 to 6:30 behind Annie Mae's Coffee Shop. Make sure you check that out. And we'll have some more cruising experiences like we had last night. We'll have another one on the 15th. And then you're going to hear about a special one that will be happening during Niwala. Tonight are the ICC Anna Plays. You potentially might be hearing a shout out about that. If not, make sure you put your finger on October the 2nd. It's tonight. Recycling is tomorrow, the first Saturday of the month from 8 to 12 at the sanitation yard. You're going to hear from the group that will be volunteering at that in just a little bit. We have a couple of ribbon cuttings coming up, but one will be this weekend at Impact Church. It's out on South 10th Street at 11:30, so feel free. The community is always invited to come to our ribbon cuttings. And then we have a cleanup coming up on the 10th. So you want to know about this because the cleanup, I'm going to have to go by memory. So the cleanup will take it's on the 10th from 7 until noon, and it will take all of your recycling. It will take your appliances, your air conditioners, your couch, your building materials, your tires, your mattress, everything. You can drop all of that off. You can even drop off your yard waste, your tree limbs, your trees, anything that you have like that would typically go to the tree dump. You can drop that off as well. You can also drop off all your household hazardous waste, such as insecticides and waste fuel and batteries and pesticides and things like that typically you would take to the Montgomery County Household Hazardous Waste Department. You can drop that off too. Also, before that, on the Thursday, Friday, you can go to Class LTD, courtesy of the City of Independence. They'll be picking up the tab for all free document shredding. So get rid of all your tax forms and things like that that you don't need. You'll drop them off between 10 and 2. So that's the 8th and 9th. And then on the 10th, it will be the cleanup day at the sanitation yard. It will also be, the day that you can get your free flu shots. The Presbyterian Church is offering free flu shots. There's about 200. You'll line up in the oval, donate a canned good or a non-perishable food item to help them restock the food basket and get your free flu shot. Niwala's opening day will be the 10th. You're going to hear about that in a little bit later on. We're going to have some visitors in our community on the 16th through the 18th, the Pheasants Forever Heartland Challenge Cup at Remington Ranch. So all the hunters will be in town. So if you see somebody with camo that doesn't look familiar, or if you can't see them at all, make sure you tell them, welcome to Independence. You have one more chance to play glow in the dark at the park. That's on the 23rd at 8:30 in the evening. The ICC will be doing a 1940s Christmas Carol, and that's on the 23rd and 24th out at the college. Mark your calendar for that. We're going to have a shout out for a breakfast coming up, and on the 31st, Meadowlark Lounge will be at the museum. Mark your calendar for that. I do want to tell you that we're having Veterans Day of Honor. That will be on November the 7th, and it will be a little different than we typically have because of COVID. So we're working out all the details. We're hoping that we have a parade. We're able to have a parade, even though we can't have Niwala because our Veterans Day parade is not that long. It's just down Penn Avenue. Plenty of room to socially distance and honor our veterans. So we're working hard to make sure that we're having events to honor our veterans that are safe during this pandemic. So stay tuned to our Get Independence Facebook page for more information. Okay, we have two things to take care of before we start our speakers. Excuse me, let's see here. First thing we want to do is recognize our Investing in Indy recipients this morning. So they happen to be two young professionals that are making Independence their home, Michael and Alexa Yasouzi. They got married about 4 years ago, but prior to their marriage, they bought a home, and so they had that waiting on them all ready to go as they were newlyweds. They purchased a home that was owned by Dr. Philip Chappé, no, not Dr. Philip Chappé, Dr. Chappé and Betty Waltman. And they had a color scheme that I think was kind of green and maybe an orange color on their home. And when the previous owners to Michael and Alexa bought it, they decided to change it up a bit, bring it up to date, and they painted it a gray color. It was really pretty, and they made some changes to it. But when Alexa and Michael decided that they wanted to make it their home, like we always do, we all do, we changed it to our liking. And not only have they worked on the outside, but they've worked on the inside. They've put a tremendous amount of money and blood, sweat, and tears into it. I'm sure there might have been tears along the way. They have done a lot of work on the inside, but we don't recognize that. We recognize the beautification that people are doing to the outsides of their home. And so they not only did they paint it, they put siding, they put windows, they've put a rock exterior on it. They're even doing more work with a fence. So let's take a look at some pictures. There, I don't know if you can see without turning. April's going to get the lights real quick so you can see. So the first picture is 2 owners ago. There you go. Second picture would be when the owners prior to Michael and Alexis bought the house. They changed it up a little bit. And the third picture is what it looks like today. A new rock exterior, new windows. It's beautiful, it really is. It's at 313 Crestview Drive. You gotta go by. April's gonna bring over the sign. We're gonna have Michael come forward. Real quick, if there are any Pride members in the room, come up for a big photo op. I'm gonna give him a certificate so he can take to his wife. Michael works at Lee's Cooling and Heating, and Alexa works at Hugo's Industrial Supply, so she's at work right now, so we're gonna honor Michael. Our next speaker up is from the Pride Committee and the Tree Board. He's going to tell us about a little project we got going on. You can take a look up here.
For those who don't know me, I'm Tim Haynes. I'm one of two of the newest members of the Tree Board, which is pretty exciting. It's something I care a lot about, and I was actually part of the group that helped establish the Tree Board a few years ago. So if you weren't aware, there are some signs leading into the city that recognize Independence as part of the Arbor Day Foundation's Tree City USA program. And when I moved here, it was interesting that we have a tremendous, really beautiful, really incredible history of having awesome-looking trees in this town, and it adds a lot of value to the community by the park and around other parts of town. But there was no formal recognition for it, and so the Tree Board, in an effort to pursue the Tree City USA recognition, is something that is a natural fit for this town. There are 4 grass medians, for those who are paying attention and counting, over by the park, and some of those are a little bit bare. We have an opportunity with some very generous matching donations to purchase trees to place in those medians to replace some of the trees that are already there. It's really important when you're selecting trees to select the right species with the right physical features, the size that fits the space. And the species we're looking at are called shadwood, or serviceberry is another name for them, trees. They're very vibrant in the fall, and they're very vibrant in the spring. They have flowers and beautiful fall foliage, and they are an appropriate size for that space. The cost is going to be $229 per tree, which is tax exempt through the City of Independence, and we are looking for approximately $3,500 in funds to purchase 12 to 15 trees that are currently about 10 feet tall. So they're already a very good size that's going to be beautiful and draw attention to that space. And as I mentioned before, we do have a donor willing to match up to $1,374, which would be half the cost of 12 trees. So if you would be interested in helping to support that project financially, we would really appreciate it, and we look forward to having some more beautiful trees up along Oak Street by the park to further recognize that this is a community that really cares about trees and really loves the beauty of the great outdoors. Thank you.
Thank you. Good job. I want to add 2 things to that. Our anonymous donor is no longer anonymous. It's Mr. Farthing in the back of the room, who is a member of our Pride community, and he also takes care of Celebration Park. He pays for all of the treatments on that grass that the staff at the Civic Center take care of. So he takes care of that and makes sure that it's beautiful, and he wants to be a part of making sure that the entrance into the park is beautiful. And I also want to tell you that how this got started was a gentleman named Richard Folk. Does anybody know him? He lives on North 4th Street right by the park. He came into our office. He's been in the office about 4 times. He came in, I'd never met him before, and he walked in and he talked to me about what we could do to get trees in those center medians. He talked about how beautiful that's always been and how he's enjoyed those trees through the years and wanted to know if there was something we could do. And I said, as a matter of fact, we have a Pride committee and we have a tree board. And that's how it actually got started, because this gentleman walked into the office with an idea. And so he's been in the office 4 different times. He came in during COVID. I told him we were working on it. And I cannot wait to tell him that we have selected trees and we are moving forward with the fundraising. So while Mr. Farthing has made a very generous contribution of the over $1,300, we are also needing to raise some more funds. We brought a box today that has pictures of the trees there, and again, they're like $229 a piece, and we'll leave that over on the table, and you guys can drop some money in there if you so choose. We would appreciate it so we can get those trees in the ground. And they're 10-foot tall trees, so they're significant trees right now, so it's going to be beautiful. All right, it's time for our speakers. We've got 4 speakers. They're going to talk about 3 subjects. 2 of them are a duo pair, and we're going to get started with that. So our first set of speakers are 2 individuals who are very involved in the community. We have Chuck Goad and Kendall Neal, who are here to talk to us about A Penny for Progress. So slip out that green sheet of paper that you have in front of you, and welcome our first two speakers.
Chuck's going to come in and clean up the mess that I make, so I'm going to go first. I'm Kendall. My wife and I, we moved our family here a little over 3 years ago. And we love it. It's great. One of the great things about it is, so I work in Coffeyville, but we chose Independence as our home for many reasons, right? We have a super nice park, a super nice zoo, and one of the things that helps us with that is this 1 cent special use sales tax. So that's what we're talking about today. It's set to expire in October of 2022, but the City Commission is seeking a citizen vote to extend that to 2032. So let's see here. It's working. Good deal. So a little bit of the facts here. This is used in conjunction with other funding from, say, KDOT or other sources. The city uses these funds from this 1 cent sales tax to fund improvements to Riverside Park, Mitchell Zoo, major street improvements. We'll go through those here in a minute, but for example, West Main, 10th and Chestnut, Penn and Chestnut, and Peter Pan Road. All the ADA compliant sidewalks that you see around town, that was partially funded by this as well, and they will continue to be so. The Memorial Hall upgrades, I mean, you guys are sitting in it throughout this place. I sit in the theater in there, and I just think about, this is really nice for this community. It's really good. The dog park, I don't know who all in here takes their dog to the dog park. Anybody? Yeah, it's a nice dog park, and it was funded in part by this sales tax. The installation of an emergency alert system for your cell phones. That's a good thing. You know, if you can't hear the sirens or anything going off outside, you can get on your phone, let you know beforehand. 1916 City Hall, the nice building that we're getting redone. That's phase 1 work is being supported by this 1 cent special use sales tax. And one of the big ones for me is stabilization of property taxes. With this, we can keep our property taxes low and we don't have to increase that. So I like that. I don't know about who else out there likes that, but I do. We'll go through this one. This is West Main. As you can see on the left there, it had gotten into pretty bad shape. So part of this was funded by KDOT, part of this was funded by the city, and the city's portion was funded by this 1 cent special use sales tax. I wasn't here personally before it got done, but I'm sure some of you could speak to the condition that it was in, and I know now that it's good. So I reap the benefits of that. That's good. We all do. 10th and Chestnut, new intersection. I was talking to Chuck about this earlier. I said, I'm glad I wasn't here when it was going on, but it's pretty now, and it works really well. It's functional, and it serves a good purpose. Next one is the park and the zoo. I know for me and my family with 2 little boys, they love it. And it's super nice. So one of the things that really threw us for a loop when we got here was that we had a zoo. We had no idea that was going to be here, right? And it's nice. You think zoo in small town, you think it's probably going to be run down, the animals are going to be in bad shape. That's not the case here. We have very, very talented workers there, and we have, it's beautiful. So we have funded numerous improvements out there through this 1 cent special use sales tax. The tennis court complex, new train canopies, the shelter house, Monkey Island, and the carousel refurbishment. I'm thankful for all of that. I can tell you that right now. I think this you, Chuck?
Yeah.
All right.
You can keep working that.
I'll have to keep working this, yeah.
The young folks run the technology, right, Janet? Okay, now Kendall's told you a little bit about what the city has used that special use sales tax for it over the last 8 years. It'll expire, as he said, in 2022. The city had several meetings over this past summer to decide if this sales tax is to be renewed or extended, what would we use that for? And they did a lot of planning, a lot of brainstorming, a lot of discussion, and this chart right here shows how they intend to use it should it be extended. Additional, to continue the improvements and maintenance of the park and zoo. That's a very important thing to everyone in the community. It's a gem that draws people regionally to our town to spend sales tax dollars. To continue the work on the streets and improvements. That's an ongoing project that requires funds each and every year. They continue to use, they'll plan 27% of the money will go toward that. Property tax stabilization. As Kendall noted, that's something that's important to all of us. 25% of the special use sales tax goes into the general fund. That displaces the amount of money that would normally be required from property taxes to fund those things. So 25% helps keep our property taxes stable. And the remaining 31% is for debt repayment. The bonds that the city's issued to do projects in the city, 31% of this special use sales tax goes to make the payments of principal interest on those bonds, the city's debt. And then 5% for economic development. Now, some people have asked me, 5%, that it seems like a lot. Economic development was one of the most important things in the strategic plan that the community put together. Why 5%? Well, it's because the city's been able to redirect some money because of the way we're focused on these percentages. They've been able to redirect some money from other sources to economic development. So, in fact, in the ongoing years, we will have more money for economic development than we've had in the past. So that's a very strategic initiative the city's put a lot of work into. They've developed a new committee to work specifically on that and make recommendations to the city commission. So we've really made a lot of progress, and they're very committed to economic development. Things to know about the sales tax rate. If it passes, it will continue as it is right now at 9.5%. There will be no changes to the sales tax rate. The great thing about this is it helps share the burden of the annual budget the city has to spend for all of the things that we enjoy and take for granted day in and day out. It helps to spread that burden over people who visit our community from other communities. People come to visit the park and zoo. People who come to our community for an event at Remington Ranch. Anyone who, vendors who come to sell to the companies that are located here. Anyone that comes to Independence from anywhere that spends money and generates sales tax will help share the burden of all of our infrastructure. If the sales tax is not approved, this is the downside. And some people have asked me, why this doesn't expire until 2022? Why are we talking about that now? Well, it's because the amount of money that this special use sales tax generates and goes to fund all these things we've been talking about is intended to fund the new spread that I just went over with you. If that were not coming into the city's general funds to be able to be spent on all the things we need, the amount of money or the number of mills that would be required in property tax increases to replace that would be slightly over 40 mills. I expected 40 mills. Can you imagine your property taxes going up by 40 mills? Well, you don't have to worry about that. Here's why. Your property taxes won't go up by 40 mills because there's a statutory cap on how much a municipality can raise property taxes, with a couple of exceptions. They can make exceptions if they have to issue debt, have to make payment for some sort of a reason. And there's also an exception for public safety. If you have some critical public safety need, the statute allows you to raise the mill levy to pay for that. That's a critical need. But for the other things, you're capped on how much you can raise it, and it's based on the consumer price index, how much that's gone up. So the types of things we're talking about here are critical to the community. If we did not pass a special use sales tax, we can't raise the mills by 40 mills to replace all these things. So there's a combination of a couple of things that have to take place. One is property taxes would go up, probably by the statutory cap, but that would not be nearly enough to replace the 40 mills. So the only other course of action the city would have would be to drastically start reducing services. They have to cut expenses. That's the only thing they can do. The city is required by law not to spend any more money than they've got in the budget. They can only spend what they've got in the budget. So if they've only got so much money coming in, they have got to cut expenses to get down to that level. So if they're capped on how much they can raise the property taxes, and they can't raise the 40 mills, they've got to make up the difference in reduced expenses. That's why they're starting now. If this does not pass in November, they're going to have to spend the next year. The 2022 budget process starts in 2021. So in the middle part of next year, they're going to have to start brainstorming. This did not pass. We can say we can raise it by, consumer price index was say 3%. We can raise it by 3%. This raises this much money. We've got a gap of this big. Let's start going through the budget. What can we eliminate to get down to that number? That's where the pain will start hitting the community. Things you're used to having would have to go away. Not that the city does not want to provide them, they just don't have the revenue to pay for it. So that's why they're starting now. Going through that process and preparing for that type of inevitability would take some time, and it will be painful. So that's why we're starting now, trying to educate everyone on what the facts are. Here are the facts, think them through, vote your conscience, yay or nay, whatever you think, but you need to be, when you check that box, you need to be armed with the facts. What are the consequences of a yes? What are the consequences of a no? That's about all I have to say. You might, these jot some, most of the things that Kendall and I have talked about are on this form right here. Jot some things down that are on your mind right now. If you have any questions whatsoever, I can give you Kelly's email. I can give you her cell phone number. I'll even take you to her office and walk you in the door. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Great information. All right, next up, we always have our Niwala Generalissimo. They are always invited to First Friday in the month of October. So with tradition, we would like to welcome to the podium Janet Demo, our Generalissimo for 2020 for the Niwala Festival.
Thank you so much. This is not the Norma Niwala that I'll be talking to you about, but I hope that we'll find a little bit of fun. I know this town is more than just the events that we have. The Niwala spirit lives in all of us, and I think we can have a good year, and we'll just come back better next year is all. This is just a hiccup. When we had to cancel things out of for public safety, which was devastating to many of us, we knew we wanted to keep the queens, definitely. Whatever it took to keep those girls safe, we wanted to do, and they've been doing it. I've been very proud of these girls. We have 19 candidates, and they are coming to practices in masks, taking them off when it's their turn to do their talent, and then those masks are right back on. Temperatures are taken at every practice, every meeting, every event. We had the pop party a few days ago, and everything was followed to the T. I'm so proud of the committees that take care of these girls, and I'm proud of the girls for hanging in there. And you know they want to be there because they're doing this knowing there's no parade. You know, there's not the traditional events for them. So please support them. Watch the live stream. It'll be on Facebook. We're seeing where else we can run that live stream, and probably YouTube. We're hoping to get a YouTube channel for that, and there'll be more details on that to come. Another event that we are having from last year is the Medallion Hunt. I'll give the first clue on talent night, and then after that, all clues will be on our Niwala Facebook page or on our website, www.niwala.com. So some ideas, I wanted to get some ideas from people, what could we do to salvage some of this fun while keeping everyone safe? So I'm going to list a few of the things, and the details will be found at those two places on the website and the Facebook page. One thing we're having is a Scarecrow Contest. You decorate these 3 to 5 feet scarecrows at your place, and then you bring them to my warehouse sign shop, and then we will get the assistance of the junior class to attach these scarecrows on downtown trees. And we are pleased to work with Main Street on that. They are going to provide the prizes for those. We are going to have $50 Main Street bucks for first place. We'll have a $25 Main Street bucks for second place, and then another $25 for People's Choice. And People's Choice can be voted on at headquarters. The next thing we're going to have is a yard decorating contest, which you're probably already doing. But if you'd like to enter, please email your name, address, and phone number to Lorraine Emmett at lemmot54@gmail.com. And we will have winners and announce that to everyone on October 31st. They'll get a sign in their yard proclaiming that that is theirs. We will not publish your name and phone number. We'll just list addresses so people can ride by and see your beautiful yards. We are going to be having a virtual 5K, 10K run. Heather and Ryan Collett are in charge of that this year, as they have been our normal races, if we could do them in person. There'll be more details on that. You'll be able to do your run anytime between October 24th and the 31st. We're going to have a pumpkin decorating contest for kids from age 3 years to 12th grade, and they will be split up into their proper categories. And hopefully we'll have some fun prizes for them as far as goodies from Casey's Creations. I hope they've already talked to them. Things are still evolving in these things. But like, Dairy Queen, Sonic, you'll be hit up soon. And we've talked to the museum, and we're hoping that they will be able to find us a space that these can be displayed while they're having their display. We'll have those pumpkins there. We're asking the kids not to carve the pumpkins, and that way, hopefully, they will last longer throughout the month. And then we'll have a drop-off for those at the Park Oval, and the date, I don't know if I have the date here, but we will have that published on the Facebook page and niwala.com. We are having Niwala Talent Competition Monday, October 26th at 6:30. It will be live streamed. We're excited about those things. The only tickets sold, a lot of people aren't sure about this and they're worried about this. There will be people there. They will be the families of each candidate is given so many tickets to sell to their family. And then they will be expected to come in with their mask. They will be separated by rows. And so we felt like they needed their families there. Then coronation will be October 27th at 7 p.m. And same thing, it will be live streamed. And some exciting I cannot think of Emily's name, but a coronation night will be emceed by Melissa Small and Emily Flores, and I can't remember her married name, I apologize. Talent night will be emceed by Kelly Whitson Kelly and Drew Demo. So you want to listen in on that. And the next thing we have, thanks to Lisa Wilson, all these ideas have come together from community members and past board members and coming and talking to, emailing me when I was like, what can we do and I need ideas. I had a few, but I needed more. And Lisa was very kind to offer up something that they have themselves done recently is the cruise nights. And so what if we did a doodah cruise night on the night that we would normally have our doodah parade? And I thought that was a wonderful idea. So on that Thursday, the 29th, at 6:30, we'll meet at the Park Oval. Won't cost you a thing. Just decorate your vehicle, wear costumes if you want. Maybe not some of those doodah costumes, since we will be driving in more locations. But please join us, and we'll cruise Indy from 7 to 8 on that night. It should be a lot of fun. And then another event working hand in hand with another wonderful entity is Halloween Eve movie at the park. And we'll have a movie at the park on Friday, the 30th. And we will, haven't picked the movie yet, but we will be working hand in hand with Four Paws and the Park Board, hopefully, that we will get a wonderful movie that you bring your family naturally spread out in the oval. It's a big area. Bring your lawn chairs, bring your blankets, and we'll have a good time. And more details to come on that on the Facebook page and niwala.com. October 10th at 310 North Penn, the headquarters will be opening. There won't be tickets for sale, but you'll be able to do the People's Choice for the pumpkins and People's Choice for the Scarecrow. And then there's lots of shirts, hats, mugs. There will be program books there. I encourage you to buy a program book because we've gone ahead and listed all the committees that didn't get to do their event this year. It's important to me that you know a lot of them have put in a lot of work, and it's crushing not to have chitty chitty bang bang, and it's crushing not to have some of these parades, events. And a lot of people had put in a lot of work, and we want to recognize them. So please buy a program book. Sorry, get a little emotional. We have a throwback T-shirt. Oh, this is we have 4 colors of these in headquarters. There's a throwback T-shirt that's special to me. It's from 1980. And that is the year that I moved to Independence, and that is the year that Drew and I got married, so that's why I picked that year. And there's lots of novelties in there, masks, of course. We have the Ronawalla masks and shirts and buttons, if you would like some of those, that Shelley James designed. And we have puzzles, candles, hand sanitizer, and just lots of fun things. So I just want to encourage all of you to, let's not let this defeat us. Teamwork does make the dream work, and we can have a good old time, and hopefully next year this will all be a remember when event. So thank you.
I think it was a few weeks ago, I had the privilege of interviewing the first female Generalissimo, Cass Bruning, and Mike Flood videotaped it. It's going to be, I think, on the Niwala exhibit at the museum. And so while she's in history as the first female Generalissimo, Janet Demo is a part of a Generalissimo piece of history. So she is one of the husband and wife duos. So Stuart and Ann Crow both served as Generalissimo 2 separate times, individually. And Drew has been Generalissimo, and now Janet is the 2020 Generalissimo. So she too will go down in history, but more than that, she will go down in history as being the Generalissimo during the pandemic. And she's doing an amazing job. And you're right, we're not going to let this squelch our spirit. So we're all going to embrace all the great things you have planned, and it's going to be a great month. So congratulations. All right, so we have our final speaker this morning. She too, like Michael and Alexa, is a young professional who grew up in Independence, decided to make Independence her home. She is now married to her husband, who I believe grew up in Independence. They're raising their family. She has purchased a business that is very well known to all of us, is making some changes, kind of doing some rebranding, and we wanted to put her in front of all of you so you can learn more about a new business in town. Would you please welcome Miranda Bruning?
Hi, as Lisa said, I graduated here from high school in '05. Went to Kansas State University to get my degree in interior design, and then went down to Corpus Christi for a few years and did some high-end residential design down there. Found out that just wasn't for me. I just did not like that clientele, the residential, the humid, dirty water down there. I just didn't like it. So I moved back up here, started working for medical lodges, doing a bunch of work on their facilities at their corporate office for their renovations, and then ended up finding a job with an architecture firm in Bartlesville. When I was there, learned a lot of techniques and more on the architecture side than interiors, and found that that's really what I had enjoyed. Why I don't think I liked Corpus down there working in the residential part was my desire was to do more of the architecture. So unfortunately, you spend all that time and stuff in college, and then you're like, this is not what I wanted to do. But thankfully for me, I was able to work under an architect that really helped me out, taught me a lot there. And then life happened. All of a sudden, John Heckman was wanting to retire. It worked out that I was able to get with a partner out of Tulsa and purchase the firm from John. And we have really enjoyed working with him in this process of switching over from his firm and moving it kind of into our firm and making this work. The other good thing about it was the commute from Bartlesville, although it's not that far, it's about an hour and a half out of your day that you don't get to spend with your family. So I have 2 young children, and my husband here, we just felt that this move would be better for us as a family to be able to be back here in Independence. We lived here, his business is here, we're not moving anywhere. So we just wanted to get our roots back here. So my partner and I, Matt King, purchased John's firm February. Corona hit in March. So, the struggles of trying to open a new business and then close the new business. And thankfully, we didn't have to actually close. But we did have quite a few projects that put on hold due to their financial concerns. Thankfully, we are picking back up. Quite a few projects are starting, quite a bit of work. A lot of clients here in Independence are doing work. And so the impact to us was felt, but thankfully we have been able to stay through, maintain the business, stay open, and then work with quite a few clients to help, get them into their spaces and the designs that they want to do once they are able to recoup from this as well. So it's been challenging, enjoyable. Like I said, I've kind of decided that I wanted to throw away what I did in college and start new, but I'm not going back to school. the Board of Architectures, the American Institute for Architects, has actually changed their protocol to where if you meet certain criteria, you would be able to take your exams and get your architecture license. And this just happened a few years ago. And so I got to looking into it and found out that even though my degree is in interiors, I prefer the architecture part of it, that meeting certain criteria, I was able to go ahead and apply for my architecture license. And so currently, I am studying every night, taking college finals again, basically. There's about 6 different tests you have to take to get your license, and I started taking them and hope to have those finished in the next 6 months. So I will have my architecture license as well as my interiors and be able to help that many more clients get through. But we do have, a lot of you know Sean Clapp, worked with John. Sean's a great employee, sticking around as long as we can keep him. So he'll still be working with you in the community. John works as well. He's retired as much as he can be. I don't know if he's getting a little antsy at home, but he has a few projects that he's working on and finishing up for us. And then if we get busy and need him, he has said that he will come back. But I know the other day he came in the office because Marge was vacuuming and he wanted to get out of the house. So, but yeah, we have my partner Matt and I. His office, a little bit about him is his office. He has a small office in Tulsa. And the fluctuations of a small business, you know, you have good months, weeks, years, and then you have slow ones. And so finding an architect in Independence, Kansas, or getting someone to move down here is very hard. Doing that and knowing that you can maintain them with enough work to hire them and move them here as an employer is even harder. So you don't want to get someone here and then 6 months later be like, I'm sorry, I can't keep you on. And then, you know, their profession is having to travel now to Tulsa or Bartlesville to be able to get any work. So the benefit of being able to partner with Matt is that if we get busy and we need the help, he has 3 guys there in his office that we can help and pull down and work with. And the same with him. If he's busy and needs our help, or you know, we're slow and you know we need some work, he'll give us a couple jobs, you know, to help him on. So it's allowing us to maintain as a small business and a small company for a profession that's very hard to get somebody in a community like this to keep going and running. And thankfully we've helped each other on projects, but we've not had to utilize that just to stay open at this point. So I feel very grateful that even though in this kind of time and opening a business in this time, we've been able to keep on our feet, keep going, and just hope that, you know, if you guys need any services and need anything, that you come help. We'll sit down, talk with you, free consultations, just to figure out and help you get on your feet, figure out where you need to go, what you want to do, and then, you know, keep supplying these kinds of services to Southeast Kansas and hope that, you know, we can stick around as long as John's firm stuck around and maintain that relationship. So that's all I got. Thank you.
Well, we're excited it's hard for me to say, HBK, Architecture and Interiors. But we're thankful for your investment in the community. We wish Heckman and Associates well, and John, and we know he's still around, and as well as Sean. But it is exciting to even be able to say that Independence, Kansas has an architecture firm. So I think that's pretty cool. So it is time for our shout outs. Now, first of all, I know that the Facebook listeners don't realize how many people are in here, but we set up for, I believe, 90. There's about 15 tables of 6, and I was looking around. There are not very many vacant chairs, so I know there's about 75 people in the room. We're all spaced out and enjoying a gathering together. So it's always fun when we're all done to give everybody an opportunity to do some shout-outs. They know who they are. They have 30 seconds, And there are 8 of you, so that's 4 more minutes. That's all we got here. So, and you know what order you need to be in, so hop on up here, get in line, and let's hit these shout-outs fast and furious. The first one that we're going to do is I'm going to participate in this one a little bit. This one is actually a presentation we're going to make to a new chamber member, Keisha Johnson. She is with KFAN, which is Kansas Family Advisory Network. And they joined the chamber, and they're in Coffeyville. And so I can't get over there to do a ribbon cutting. And so we're going to take care of business right here. Breaking my own rule because this might take 35 seconds. Okay. So Keisha, on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, I want to present you with your membership plaque. We would cut a ribbon if we were in Coffeyville, but we want to give her that plaque. We want to welcome you to our business community. We know you're in Coffeyville, but you're staying involved in the community. And also, as a token of appreciation, you may or may not know this, but the Independence Daily Reporter gives every single one of our new chamber members a quarter-page certificate for a quarter-page ad that's valued at over $267, and which well pays for their first year of membership. And so it's their way of helping to help our new businesses support themselves with marketing materials. So on behalf of the reporter, I want to give you this certificate. They want you to use that and help spread the word on what KFAN is doing. So you want to just introduce yourself?
I am Lakeisha Johnson. And I'm Shelby Davis.
And I'm Haley Bagwell.
And we're K-Fan.
All right, thank you. All right, who's up next? Danielle. All right, up next is Danielle West.
Hi, everyone. I'm Danielle West, and I'm just here to do some, I guess, final touch-ups on my Bows and Bridges boutique and let you guys know grand opening is next Friday and Saturday. And I'm located in the Annie Mae's building, just behind the coffee shop. So I'll be open 10 to 7 both days, Friday and Saturday next week. Sounds like it's going to be a busy weekend. Neowalla headquarters is opening, all that fun stuff. There'll be some giveaways, coupons, all that fun stuff. So come check out our beautiful boutique. We have maternity, nursing wear, and then clothing from infant all the way up to youth sizes. So I'm excited to meet y'all and see y'all next weekend.
Check out her Facebook page. Come on up here. Check out her Facebook page. There's pictures of the store. Super cute. Come on, come on up. Get on over here. Get over here. Ryan, you're next. Everybody just keep on coming. I know, but you can get in the camera. There you go. I'm going to get out of the way.
Hi, Paige Petruka with Independence Community College Theater. Guess what? We have a show tonight, outside at the band shell. It's the Anna Plays, a long history with ICC named after Anna Engelman and Margaret Goheen. She kept the tradition, well, she started the tradition named after Anna. And these are plays written and mostly directed by students. So come, it's at 6 o'clock. It's so beautiful. We had our dress rehearsal last night, nice and cool. And it's only an hour. It's family friendly, 4 shows, 4 10-minute plays. Come. And then really fast, we have in 3 weeks, a play I wrote over the summer at the Inge Theater. It's called A 1940s Christmas Carol, and it's so, I think it's funny. I wrote it. We're making theater happen in the time of Rona, so we're very excited. Come with masks. We will take temperatures. We'll socially distance the audience. But the most important thing is that theater is happening. We're doing it. And I just found out last night that this play, The 1940s Christmas Carol, is going to be published. Yay!
Good for you.
Thank you.
I'm Ryan Collett. I'm with the many other things, but mostly the Independence Masonic Lodge. On October 24th, from 7 in the morning till 11 in the morning, we are going to have a pancake feed, pancake breakfast. We're going to have pancakes, sausage, and eggs. Coffee, tea, and water are all included with the $5 entry fee per person. For an extra $1, you can get juice, milk, things of that nature. It's at 2000 West Laurel. We're also going to have a to-go option, curbside pickup, whatever you want to call it. You can get that by just calling 620-331-2349, and we'll bring it out to your car. We'll have signs in the parking lot to kind of help everybody get through. We're also going to be doing the social distancing, temperature at the door, masks, all those things, just because we have to, right? It's not fun, but we're all missing the food trucks and things of that nature from Neowalla that are usually here. So we're going to try and have some things to do at the Masonic Lodge to make up for that a little bit. So that's really it. Anybody else?
I'm Andy Taylor with the Independence Lions Club, and these presentations today are a good segue into the Lions Club. Because of the sales tax initiative, the Independence Lions Club relies heavily on the future of Kittyland, and that sales tax money will help Kittyland in a great deal, and I'm excited about the improvements that are in store for that. Personally, Grassroots Design Group, right now if you go into our building, it's full of Neowalla stuff that'll be sent to the headquarters here in a couple of days. So we have t-shirts and pillows, spoiler alert. And Miranda, good to see you again. I remember when she was Miranda Cadle years ago when she was showing calves and steers at the Montgomery County 4-H Fair. Independence Lions Club, thank you so much for giving eyeglasses to our projects that we so desperately need to give to people who need that vision in foreign countries. Keep that up. We will be at the Recycling Center tomorrow from 8 to noon. So besides recycling your glass and your newspapers and your plastics, bring your old eyeglasses. We'll be down there as well. Also, real quick, October 10th, the Lions Club assists the Presbyterian Church with the drive-through flu clinic. We will take eyeglasses that day as well. Two things about that. Line up early. It starts at 9 o'clock. People get there around 7 o'clock just to get a spot in line. So when it starts at 9 o'clock, there is a line of traffic around the back end of the oval all the way to the shelter house. 200 vaccines will be given, first come, first serve. It's usually done within about an hour to 90 minutes, totally free, and we're glad to assist with that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Nick Grimm, and I am the pastor at Impact Christian Church. And we are a new church here in town. The Nazarene Church is right next to us on South 10th Street. And I'm just going to tell you, we began and moved here in January not knowing anybody here. So more than likely, you don't know me because I come from Kansas City. And what a great time to start a church. So listen, we're here. We're excited. Our past 2 Sundays, we've averaged about 70 people. And what is exciting about that is we love partnering with our community and local businesses and things to do to use our facility, but also to go out and help endorse people in our community and how to help our community. So just a quick little commercial for this upcoming Sunday. So this Sunday, we are partnering with the chief of police here, Jerry. He's coming to our church to talk about human trafficking. Which I know is a hard topic, but it's in southeast Kansas. So we're trying to get ahead of that, and also sexual assault and how that happens and how that affects human trafficking. So it's going to be a really exciting conversation on Sunday morning. But right after that, we are leaving. We have partnered actually with April, and we are going to go to people's houses and try to clean up some yards. So hopefully we have about 70, hopefully more, that'll show up. And if you show up, here's what happens. You get a free t-shirt. So awesome, right? Who doesn't like a new free t-shirt? But also, we're going to go straight out and really help our community because we want to see independence thrive. Because we believe in this. Our mission statement is restoring hope in a hurting world. And the truth is we want to try to restore hope, even in independence. And to all the people that walk through this town, to see that a town can love people and love Jesus. So I hope that you can join us, but thank you for letting me have this time.
Thank you, Nick. And a ribbon cutting at 11:30.
I am so excited what Nick and his church is doing. They're calling it Service Sunday, and they truly are serving our community. So Nick, thanks for the idea, and thanks for the leadership in that. I'm here to talk about, as Independence always is, incredibly generous. Last month, I asked for peanut butter for the food pantry, and they got peanut butter. So, and he's like, I knew it was from what you did at First Friday because I know who goes to First Friday, and they started showing up. So I'm here now with the pandemic. They have seen a huge increase in new families coming to the food pantry for need. And so with that, I kind of check in with him on a regular basis. What's your new need? And currently what they are needing is cereal and jellies of any kind. My favorite's peach, just FYI. They're also needing pork and beans or just baked beans. So if you have the capability and the will, if you'll just buy some of that, you can do it two ways. You can drop it off at the Community Access Center, or, as always, you can drop it off at the chamber. So appreciate it. Thank you very much for your generosity. Independence, you always rock. Thanks.
I'm Jim Hayward with Confectionate Fine Chocolates, and I have one sentence for all of you. At 10 a.m. this morning, after 6 months, Confectionate Fine Chocolates will open its door. We are fully stocked, and so we hope to see you there. Thank you.
Get ready, we're all gonna be there. All right, everyone, I want to thank you for coming to First Friday. I want to thank Wilson Medical Center in partnership with Independence Family Medicine for the great information, for the sponsorship, for the table swag. Make sure you take everything. I want to thank all of our speakers. They did a great job. I want to encourage you to get your flu shot. I want to encourage you to vote yes for a penny for progress. I want to encourage you to donate to the beautification of our community for the tree project. And I want to remind everyone that there are flyers on the table over here about almost everything that we talked about. It's all on our Facebook page, our website. If there's a correction or addition, give us a call at the chamber office or stop by. And other than that, I just want to thank you so much for coming. I wish everyone a happy Niwala, and we will see you next month on November the 6th. Have a great weekend.